Hi, I'm MarzGurl.
And I'm JoshKnightTheFIrst.
And welcome to episode 4 of MokkoriPlay, the only podcast dedicated solely to all things City Hunter.
On today's podcast, we're going to cover episode 4 of City Hunter, titled The Lady Vanishes, Boutique of the Shadows.
This is a beefy episode.
Oh, real beefy.
Like, there's so much stuff to talk about here, aside from just the fact that we're getting the introduction of Kaori, like the next most important character in this whole franchise to Ryo himself.
And this is you said this was your third time watching this episode?
At least my third time watching this episode, yes.
I think it's your second time watching within like a month.
Yeah, within the last 2 months, yeah, because I was talking about City Hunter, the first several episodes, on a different podcast a little while back.
Now, it's worth noting here, because yes, this is the major episode here. We get our introduction to Kaori Makimura. We wanted to take a second here to go ahead and talk about the differences in the art style between the show and the original manga here on how Kaori is drawn.
Well, Hojo's manga art style is very detailed. Everything is gorgeous. Everything is just so, again, highly detailed. And when you make an anime, right, and you're trusting them with something that is not a proven formula yet, you can tell, especially in this first season, it's got the least budget out of any of the seasons. It's very cartoony by comparison.
Right.
Very cartoony. But every so often, like now, ever since the introduction of Kaori, we're gonna hear a lot of jokes about, oh, she looks manly, I mean, the truth is she really doesn't. She's really a very pretty character, and some artist out there really believes in it. Because every so often, like, she'll show up on screen, and then suddenly somebody decided her ass is on today. Either an animator or the storyboard artist, somebody decided, no, we need to remind these people she's a woman, okay?
But we need to remind the people watching City Hunter that we, the production team, are all ass men.
Very much, they seem to be that way.
So let's go ahead and get right into it here. So
right into Kaori's ass.
Yes, which is what Ryo would love to do. And we'll see some of that. So on this week's episode, we're going to be talking about a trafficking ring, a human trafficking ring that's being run there out of Shinjuku. So what we're seeing here is a boutique going by the name of Boutique like Orpheus, something like that. Boutique Orifice. Which is kidnapping women who are going in to try on clothes. There's a trap door there in the boutique while they're trying on clothes. They get dropped down into a lower warehouse area where they are then drugged with a muscle stiffener to go ahead and make them living mannequins to be shipped off to Hong Kong.
It's really intricate and not very realistic, but okay, sure. So they're kidnapping people, they're gonna ship them to Hong Kong for human trafficking, and who knows what they're gonna do with them there in Hong Kong after that. It's really terrible.
Yes, because human trafficking is a terrible, terrible thing that nobody should advocate ever, and things should be done to stop it. Yes. But that having been said, in the midst of all of these kidnappings, as we're told, 19 women have gone missing in just under a month. One of the people that has gone missing is a friend of Kaori's, so she has taken it upon herself to go ahead and investigate and figure out what is going on.
Well, we don't necessarily know right at the beginning of that episode that has happened. See, at the beginning of the episode, we do see the newspaper article that 19 women have gone missing. And then on top of that, Makimura, Ryo's partner in City Hunter, is flipping the hell out because his pretty little younger sister, Kaori, is missing.
She's been missing for 2 days.
She's been missing for 2 days, and she's not amongst the people that the newspaper has reported on. He's just flipping out like, what if she's number 20? Oh my god, she's been gone, and I haven't heard from her. And this is the most emotion we will ever see out of Makimura.
This is the most animated he's ever been.
Yeah, mind you, we only see him for 5 episodes straight, and then every so often, extremely infrequently, we'll get flashbacks of him. And so you'll never see him this animated or this emotional about anything ever again.
But here we see that Makimura is impressing upon Ryo, no, you need to do this. You owe me. I'll hire you as City Hunter if I have to, damn it. Go find my sister.
I'll give you my life savings. And when Ryo finally says yes, Makimura's like, oh, you really are my best friend. And so they're really trying trying to impress upon us almost at the last minute, like, look how much these two guys are friends
Look
with
at
one
the
another.
importance of their relationship.
They're very important, we promise.
Now, the crux of this episode comes in the form of some misinformation that's given to Ryo here, because Makimura provides a stack of, I guess, photo albums to choose from of, alright, any of these are filled with pictures of Kaori. You just pull it out from here and go look for her. And Ryo happens to pull the one photo that is not of her.
It's not. And we as the audience are not really supposed to know that right away. You're supposed to go, oh, he pulled this photo out, and it's kind of this punk-looking girl. Looks like she's got an attitude.
This Sukebon Deka-looking character.
Right. And he's just like, well, it is his sister. I guess I understand. She's not my type, though. But okay, let me go find this girl. Of course, he'll never find her because she's not the person that's missing in the first place.
Now, unbeknownst to Ryo, there was another person who I've just been calling Guy Incognito, who is traipsing around Shinjuku, hassling people for information on where all the missing women are. Now, they went ahead and asked Tetsu, who is one of Ryo's other informants, for information. They can clearly tell, hey, you're not very good at this.
When Tetsu is, to any untrained eye, he's just a shoe cleaner.
A shoe shine guy.
Shoe shine guy on the street.
So it's at this moment when Tetsu is being questioned that Ryo happens to do one of these things that we're actually going to see him do a lot over the course of the series, which is he happens to, at that passing moment, harass a woman on the street. Now, it's not the harassment that is the thing he'll do for the rest of the series, which he does. It is.
It's very much in character for him.
But the whole purpose of it, if you look at it from the bigger picture, is that he uses it as a ruse to get closer to whoever's talking to Tetsu.
Right, so this person incognito has pulled a gun on Tetsu. Ryo probably sees this. We don't see that he sees this, but we do see that Tetsu sees Ryo. So they probably got this silent communication going on, like, okay, I need this help over here. Ryo, come and do something about this, please. Yeah, he harasses this woman on the street, as Ryo does, but when the woman smacks him, he uses it as, like, fake oversold leverage to hop his way all the way over to the confrontation between the incognito mustache hat
this
coat
Matches
guy
Malone looking guy over here, Bruce Wayne in disguise,
and Tetsu the informant. He hops his way over there and is like, oh, would you look at that? I've landed up against your chest, and there is a chest on that chest.
Yes.
There's a soft chest on the not soft chest. Isn't that interesting?
To which Ryo is now very much engaged into whoever this guy is with the fake mustache and the little hat there, and follows him around trying to get more information out of them. Now at this point, we can already tell Ryo has already seen through the disguise. He's just playing it up. One, maybe for giggles, but two, also because I think this is his way of gaining the advantage in a situation. Making the other person feel uncomfortable puts him in a position of power for whatever he needs, whether it be information or just to feel somebody up.
Which is assault.
It is still assault. We're not denying
assault,
that.
Yeah.
It's still assault.
So this chases off our person in a trench coat with the boobs.
Now, he goes ahead, Ryo confronts this guy and asks for a drink, saying, oh, please, I beseech you, having fallen for a guy here, which also begins this other trend that we see with Ryo throughout the series of, between the two of us having watched the whole series and then some other pieces of media, Ryo might be a little bit bi.
He might be a little bi or pan, and he might not really know it at this point.
But there's a lot of evidence for it over the course of the series.
I certainly believe there is. I think that people could argue back and forth whether or not that's actually true. It most certainly isn't written in stone. It's not like canon that he is, but he does a lot of stuff.
There's a little bit of subtext there, a little bit of subtext.
Mind you, he's also homophobic, but it's not impossible for somebody on the LGBT plus spectrum.
Q plus.
They're both things that people use. Both of those terminologies are okay.
Right.
It's not uncommon for, especially people who do not yet know that they're bi, gay, whatever, to be homophobic. So it's unfortunate that throughout the series, Ryo has, like, unfortunately, really visceral reactions when he finds out somebody is a dude when he thought that they were not a dude.
But other times when he's not sure whether they are or not, he does kind of deal with the fact of, no, I kind of got a boner for this person. I don't know what they are, but I don't think it matters. The boner's here. Let's work with it.
And then he kind of just laughs it off like, it's whatever. It's unfortunate that that is just a passing thing. We don't really delve into it further than that. But sometimes it comes up, like his boner.
Yes, which does come up a lot more in the manga, but here we're making up for it with the use of the term mokkori. So they're at the bar that they're going for more information for. Tetsu has directed Guy over here to a club called Mai Hime. Now, we noticed when we were looking at the club, the sign on the outside of the club changes from shot to shot, because initially it says Super Clab.
Super Clab, C-L-A-B, Super Clab.
And then 2 shots later, it goes to proper spelling.
Super Club.
C-L-U-B, so...
Club.
Well, way to catch that one, Sunrise. Great. So inside this place, which is clearly a strip club, our guy in the trench coat brazenly asks for the patrons to give him any info they might have on the kidnappings. Unfortunately, none of them have any of it, but his bluff is being called there with the .44 Magnum that he is holding, which quite obviously is a toy. Now, thankfully, this is another thing that comes up a lot. Ryo covers for guy in trench coat by firing off several shots to make it look like the gun is in fact real.
This happens a lot, actually, over the course of the franchise, where if somebody might not be as skilled as Ryo is, but he either really wants them to believe that they are as skilled as they think they are, or he wants to help trick somebody else into thinking this person is as skilled as they claim to be. So this happens a lot, but I think this is the first time that it happens.
Now, after this whole incident goes down, it seems they are spotted by a scout who is now keeping their eyes on them. They retreat to another place with a weird title here, Peter Pan Pub and Snack.
Not Peter Pan, P-E-A...
T-E-R...
Pieter. P like peas in a pod, Peter Pan.
Pub and Snack, where Ryo continues to play gay chicken with guy in a trench coat here, making him very uncomfortable. And they do get some more information, apparently that a homeless guy saw the victim go into the boutique in question, and Ryo heads off in that direction. But at this point, it is revealed to the audience that the guy in the trench coat is, in fact, Kaori.
Kaori, who is a woman. In fact, the person who informed them, the homeless guy who saw the women go into this boutique and not come back out, she's giving them the information in this bar, has decided, guy in a trench coat sure is an attractive guy in a trench coat. And Kaori rips off her stupid fake mustache that doesn't even look like a good mustache anyway, and she's just like, well, you know I'm a woman. And this woman informant is just like, what, but you don't like me? So somebody in this episode is gay.
Somebody somewhere is. And it's fine. That's the thing. Kaori carries huge bi energy. She gets
absolutely.
So much play from all sides.
She really does throughout the course of the entire season. And I wish she would play into that a little bit more sometimes.
We do see, though, now that the disguise has been taken off, Ryo clearly begins flirting now. At first, he's just groping, maybe to get an upper hand or to get more information, or maybe just to get her to drop the act. But now he is blatantly flirting with Kaori, not knowing her relation to Makimura.
And I think this is important to note, that Ryo finds her to be attractive because it's going to come up so often later that Ryo will joke that Kaori looks like a man. All the time. He just throws this joke around all the time, quite possibly as a cover-up for the fact that he actually does find her attractive.
It may even be, depending on your reading of the text of the manga or watching any of the shows, that it may have been love at first sight for him. We're not shown that visually.
I wouldn't go as far as to say love. I think he acts almost exactly the same way he acts with every single other girl he first runs into, and then once things happen with Makimura in the next episode, he decides, well, I'm gonna cut this relationship off that I kind of started, and it could be that because he makes that decision, then his heart starts to go in the direction that he told himself, but I'm not supposed to do this. You know, you always fall for the ones you're not supposed to.
Now that the cover has been blown by Ryo, that Kaori is in fact a woman, they have come up with their plan to go ahead and use Kaori as bait to go into the boutique and see just what the hell's going on in there. She ends up getting kidnapped and falling down this hole to where this Dr. Monster looking guy with a weird eye patch that has night vision kidnaps her.
Like literally falling down a trap hole. Like, it's already bad enough that this boutique has cameras inside their dressing rooms, right? Like, that's already a violation of human rights.
Yeah, invasion of privacy.
Invasion of privacy. But then you go and you put a trap door underneath these women's feet, and then they fall to the floor in the basement on a big air mattress, I guess, with Kaori completely ass up in the air. I'm just like, I'm over here like, you know, they're already drawing her in bra and panties, and they're not necessarily like focusing on anything, but then they draw her with just ass up. And I'm just like,
now,
guys.
Worth noting, because this is part of the episode that she's there partly disrobed in her lingerie there, she's got that good lingerie on.
The kind of lingerie that you only wear when you know somebody's gonna see it.
Right, this nice pink matching number there, and clearly they've drawn her very attractive.
Right.
And Ryo, of course, gives chase. They end up running into a subway track where all of the mannequin women are then shipped off to, I assume, a freighter or a plane or something else. And it's at this point we see more trick shooting from Ryo. He's using metal jacket bullets to try and tag this Dr. Monster looking guy. They never even name the guy. He's just guy with night vision eye patch.
Who is human trafficking, and he personally has Kaori under his arm.
At gunpoint.
At gunpoint.
Once they're there on the track, Ryo takes advantage of a passing subway car to go ahead and trick shot through 2 open windows
of a moving train. A moving train that is not slowing down because it's clearly on the express route.
He manages to get the bullet through both windows and shoot the gun out of the other guy's hand, breaking 3 fingers in the process. And that's it. That's all it took. It was only the one guy down there, and case is closed. The cops show up, ambulances show up.
They save all the women.
And that's the end of that chapter.
Yeah, but then we got the nice little epilogue, the closing of the episode of Ryo really learning, oh, this is Kaori Makimura. This is Makimura's sister. Ryo's just like, oh, well, don't worry, I never would have mistaken you for Makimura's brother. Not the way you look right now. And like, she's just forgotten that she's almost naked.
Yes.
Like, but that just also further cements, like, at the moment, it doesn't matter that it's Makimura's sister. He still is like, nah, you got boobs in that ass.
Like, damn, girl, you fine. Like, whatever you got, bring it over here.
I don't even care that this is my best friend's sister. I really don't right now.
Yeah, like, what you doing later sort of thing. And it's at this point that we see the first instance of Kaori manifesting a 10-ton ball and chain to fight back Ryo.
She never uses a ball and chain past this, as far as I'm aware. It's always a hammer.
Yes.
I wonder what the decision was to go for the ball and chain at this point. It was a little confusing, actually. But then she says, oh, well, nice to meet you. And then, like, City Hunter lights up in lights in the city in the background. But I just felt like this episode was so important, and I can't stress enough. I know I've already said it, but Ryo really is gonna be dogging on Kaori hard throughout the remainder of City Hunter as a franchise, as a series, and through all the movies. Like, who would be attracted to you? I wouldn't be attracted to you.
Like, it's
you're such a dude. Like, you're my little brother. Like, you're not attracted.
It's this very
at all.
elementary school sort of, I tease you because I like you, but I'm not going to say I like you sort of thing.
Right, but it's so, I cannot stress hard enough. This episode and the next episode, he makes very clear, actually, yes, I would have sex with this person, and we're just gonna pretend I never said that after another episode or 2.
Yeah, and we learn the very important things in this episode. 1, that Kaori, she's stacked, and 2, Ryo likes his eggs sunny side up.
What?
At the beginning of the episode, when he's having breakfast, Ryo has his eggs sunny side up.
And he very carefully cuts around the yolk in the middle of the eggs.
And quite honestly, who has the time for that?
I guess he felt like he did because he didn't think the missing girls were very important at the beginning of the episode.
Until he saw they were hot.
And
there we go. We are introduced to our second most important character in the entire show. And now next episode, things are gonna get real. Real sad. real fast. It's unfortunate that we only have so much time, really only this next episode, to see any interaction between Kaori and Makimura before the thing happens.
It's pretty much only one episode we ever see them talk to each other. And the previous episode, we saw the apartment they lived in.
We saw the kitchen, and we saw some of Kaori's room, and I don't think we're ever going to see that room again.
I don't believe so, no. Whose place do they end up at in the next episode? It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
I assume they're at Ryo's next episode, if I'm not mistaken. We'll cover that.
Well, come back next time when we cover the 5th episode of the TV series Goodbye Makimura, A Tearful Birthday on a Rainy Night.
If you want to catch us outside this podcast, you can always find us both over on Twitter. I'm at JoshKnightTheFIrst.
And I'm at MarzGurl. Thank you all so much for listening to our 4th episode of MokkoriPlay. If you don't come back next episode, I'm gonna make Josh's next birthday a real sad one.
Wait, what?